William Shakespeare said true hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings. Hope is a funny thing. It shines brightest in the darkest moments of our lives. It can be brought on by loss, by pain, by memories. But wherever and whenever it appears, hope looks forwards, not backwards. It looks up, not down. Hope promises a future better than the present. That is what hope does best. Hope breeds hope. Ah, hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these amazing people have agreed to come and play a game with me tonight. These amazing people are. Oh, by the way, that makes me happy. These amazing people are. Let's start with Chris.
Oh, hi, that's me.
Ah.
I'm Chris, aka Wayward Knight. I am here right now. I also exist on our Discord, and so I play Delilah Stillwater here tonight. You'll see that. I also run our Grave New World Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG that we play here on Monday nights. Also, I'm an artist, and my stuff is on the internet, and I thought I had pasted my links, but I didn't. But here's my links. It would be lovely if you would check it out and support me and support your small and local artist friends. And if you want to keep up with the latest, you can follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, very cool. Thank you very much. Next, let's go with Bison _ Stonefist.
That would be me. I am Bison. I'm here a lot. 4 out of the 5 nights that we play currently,
yep.
I'm playing. I'm here more than he is. Anywho, on Mondays I play Jack Aldridge on our Monday night. I said that. Buffy the Vampire Slayer game, Grave New World. We are off to a great start. On Tuesdays I run our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. On Thursdays I play Encino, a insane dinosaur dragonborn on our Thursday game, King's Pyrite. It's a fool's gold adventure. It's unhinged AF. Check it out. You'll laugh, guaranteed.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
What's number 4?
Wow.
What's number 4? That's this one.
This one.
Sid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was kind of just sort of an anticlimactic drop off. But anyway,
yeah, I'm also on the Discord a lot, and I don't stream on my own because I'm here all the time.
You did this week.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
You Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver.
Wow. I'm having a day.
I apologize for outing you like that. I blurted it out. Sorry. We'll take that back. Anyway, sorry. Let's move on.
Don't be sorry for something funny.
No, it was mean. Hurtful. It was funny, but it was mean, and that's not fair. So I take it back. Karis, save me
from
myself. Just introduce yourself. Just talk.
Hi. I'm Karis. Tune in tomorrow, not quite the same time, hour and a half earlier, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, for our beginners playing D&D. It's not actually on this channel. It is on my channel, because we have another Sunday game coming up in the near future on this channel at 6, and we didn't want them to overlap and things. Anyways. Yeah. Actually, there was a Sunday game going at the time when we started. For a while there, we had 8 games a week going on 7 nights. So it was, we have to branch out a little bit.
Stuff is in the works. So,
Yep, thank you, Bison. That's it. So, that's
I'm helping.
Yeah.
I help.
Let's just head into the game as soon as we do the final bits. Character art by Hero Forge, background image from Pixabay, artist in residence Thunderscape 7, not with us tonight in person, but always in spirit. Let's play this game.
Love Robin.
We left the herd on the crest of a bridge, a big suspension bridge with wires stretching up into the setting sun, all aflame and aglow. Delilah, you just woke up from like bad dreams and almost deading. In fact, technically deading and coming back, but that's okay. Whoosh. The other two that are currently here, let's let's start with Allegra. Your day went from bad to worse to oh my goodness, they want to kill me. Yesterday, and that was all before mid-afternoon. And then there was a running away and a fleeing and a magic car ride in a car of questionable color patterns at the moment.
The
Culminating,
Dragon Orchid.
yes, the Dragon Orchid mobile, culminating with you sitting up on the top of this bridge, which I want to get back to the bridge in a second, but I quickly want to scoot over to Sid because everything hurts. Like your hurts have hurts, and you just as you were drawing your hand at the start of tonight, drew a lovely and wondrous king. So we're gonna get back to that in a second too.
I'm starting to wonder how many we're going to streak on this bloody show. We're at like 3 sessions in a row, I swear.
Last session, 2 of us had kings.
But we're gonna start, of all people, with Artemis. Delilah, you sit up, snap up after the "oh, there you are" moment. You pop back up, back into the real world, pain, agony, the whole trauma pile thuds back on top of you. You're out in the middle of nowhere, hanging in space. I'm imagining like edge of bridge moments, like oh no, this one goes all the way across, all of that. And yet it's still you that your eyes sort of come to focus on Artemis and their eyes come to focus on you. And you see it, the other two hear it, but they look at you and go, "Oh, good, you're back. I think it might be my turn." And they collapse into, I believe it was Verite in the front seat with them.
Yes.
Collapse into his arms, and he's oh dear, oh, he's holding her like she's crystal firewood, and he's afraid to drop it. He just help.
Oh, okay. But wait, what? Oh my.
Sid
You turn to
What
help. Yeah,
what kind of trauma is this? I'm not
She's,
resonating with it, I don't think. So, oh
Nope.
dear.
Did she sleep? Did she sleep?
nope, she hasn't slept in like 36 hours.
No, still I was asking Sid.
Okay, I don't. Sorry.
Still I was just like,
Does she ever sleep? It's been days by last count.
oh God. Okay.
Oh, okay, but she was-
Allegra, you hear it first. The sun drops, and that evening wind starts, the one that goes with the sunset, passing through the wires of the bridge, all those different lengths of wires, all harmonically connected.
Mhm.
This whole bridge just starts to hum.
Off it! Off! How do we get this thing off? We have to get off now. Off the bridge. Keep going. Go, she's
Allegra,
driving.
you reach for the handle. It's singing a note of the song.
Which handle?
The one that makes the car go. There's only one handle in this thing. It goes forward and back. You've
Okay.
seen you steer
So
by
I
you,
reach
you steer
for-
by
okay,
leaning. Yeah.
Harmonics on a bridge are not the best thing.
Yeah.
I do know
Oh, no,
that.
it's not doing
Okay.
the it's not doing the Tacoma
Yes.
Narrows Bridge. We're both fairly close. Yeah. It's not doing that. This is just a deep penetrating hum.
Okay, but we gotta. I
So
will
you-
grab it and
yeah.
from the back seat. I'm reaching
Okay.
over Artemis, around Verite, grabbing
Yeah.
the thing and pulling or pushing or whatever way it is,
Yeah.
isn't right now.
And Verite's trying to lean himself and Artemis's sort of dead weight. Artemis is breathing, by the way, and is alive. Just you can hear a very, very light snoring, even given that the whole thing's starting to go like this.
Can I get out? Wait, can somebody else? Does somebody know what to do? What they're doing with this? Is this your?
Delilah, you hear that, and you see somebody who has never driven this thing, trying to get this thing off the bridge. It's downhill. Like this bridge goes like this, right? Once it's rolling,
Mhm.
flashbacks
Yeah.
to a steep hill.
Delilah, as groggy as Delilah is, she's going to turn to Allegra and say, push the lever forward a little bit, not a lot. It'll roll. But whatever you do, don't push it all the way. Oh god.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit. As I'm leaning towards her, how much is a little bit? And as I
Like-
push some,
Yeah.
You see Sid hold up 2 fingers as he's holding
Yeah,
his raise
like,
with his
say-
left
say
arm.
with
Very
Delilah.
okay, I push it. Okay, and I push it, and I'm looking at Very Taste. Do you want to do this?
I think at some point it
can we
clicks 'cause it-
switch?
What?
Can we switch? And he kind of like
No, I can't.
tries to head. Okay, and he just goes back to stiffly holding Artemis. Sid,
I was like, no,
you
I can't.
you turn to help. What happens?
I turn to help and I'm back on the blimp.
Okay.
5 years old again. Delilah's legs have become my mother's hand holding my fidgeting leg. That's not character bleed at all. And to everyone else, Sid just sort of gets really quiet and he gets this kind of, I guess, childish look on his face. Not like childish fiendy, but just innocent. You know, oblivious. And yeah, he's just lost in the sauce.
It just you turn to help and it like
Okay,
the
he's not seeing.
like the
He's
battery
not
disconnects.
harmonizing
Where-
here. He's harmonizing
where-
somewhere else.
Where's Stefano?
In the back.
Yep.
In the rumble
Do I know who
seat?
Stefano is? Well, so male person. The other male person's in the back.
At this point, Stefano is looking forward at all of you and looking back over the bridge, and he's just scattered. But with the mention of his name, comes around and says, yeah, off the bridge would be good. I don't think it's gonna come apart, but why are you driving? No, don't look, don't answer. Somebody else answer. What?
I'm not. What's driving?
He starts to try to come forward, but Sid's in the way and faded out. So he's kind of like, Delilah, you're in the hammock. Remember,
Delilah,
still trying to get.
I know,
yeah.
I'm in the hammock and I just
This would be horrifically funny if it wasn't so horrid.
Delilah's gonna try to get out of the hammock.
Yeah. Which direction?
Towards the front seat.
Okay.
She's
I
gonna
can kind of lean back again to give her
Okay.
some space.
sort of like she's gonna probably flop out of the hammock and go ugh, and then sort of like haul herself up the back of the front seat,
Yeah.
just like one leg over,
Yeah.
other leg over,
Uh-huh.
torso,
Yeah.
and just trying to like avoid Verite and Artemis,
Yep.
and then just gonna say excuse me, and then kind of shove Artemis's body into Verite's space a little bit.
Oh,
And
oh,
then-
oh, 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 oh.
It'll-
And he's all
Verite,
smooshed over.
you'll-
Yeah.
Verite, you'll be fine. And then she's
No,
going
I won't.
to yes you will. And then she's going to push on the pedal as much as she can
Mhm.
and basically activate the car, but with
Under control instead of just
delicacy.
freewheeling. Yeah. Gotcha.
yeah.
So you leap forward to help drive the car. Let's go with that. So there are now 4 people in the front seat of the car. One of
No,
which.
I was moved in the
Oh,
back.
you switched.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
No,
I
Allegra
had
was in the
leaned
back.
forward. I was in the back seat. I had leaned
Oh,
forward
right. Okay,
to
so
do
you
this
can
stuff,
just
and
drop
I
back.
leaned back to let Delilah
Right.
go through.
So
yes.
you lean back, drop in beside, staring into the 1,000-yard stare of Sid. Just. Zzz. And Stefano's
And
still trying to.
this
With
all
all of that
just
going
feels
on in front, he's sort of
discord.
stuck.
This is all discordant. People's energies are going all sorts of different ways, and so Allegra's trying to hum a little bit, and she sort of hums and is trying to sync it. Is trying to sort of pull all this chaos into an actual harmony, and it's like let's get. So she's breathing and humming and but not quite finding the harmony as she's attempting to do this. Unless you want me to make a play, in which case she'll actually try.
No, I'm going to just build off what you just said. You just can't not. The song.
It's going everywhere.
It's too scattered. There's
but there's
only
the
one
song out
constant.
there.
There's only one constant. The bridge. The hum. If you
And we
build
need to
from
move
that
along the bridge so we can propel we can sort of
With-
merge our energies with the bridge and let the bridge sort of propel us and propel this thing with some help of gravity. Ooh, this makes it plausible.
with the bridge, because the wires go like that, it's a waveform in and of itself. The sound actually would get higher pitched and lower pitched as you move along it. You lock into that.
Okay. I can do this. I can do this. And everybody else is thinking, what a time to start singing.
Mm-hmm. It's so you start working that voice, and when I mean, I don't know. who would've-
Panic breathing, and my breathing kind of smooths out a little bit as I'm doing this. So it's all it would come across to others as a self-soothing.
Yeah. And I was going to say, it isn't just self-soothing, because behind you, you hear, consciously or not, you hear Stefano matching you, slowing your breathing. And you feel him settle into his seat and start
Okay,
to.
so yes, as I'm making reality converge to the
Yes.
harmony I want it to have.
There's a tone coming from Stefano of utter disbelief. He's experiencing something he cannot explain.
And he's the one
Welcome to
who
the
didn't
club.
say anything. He's the one who didn't say anything
Mhm.
last time.
He
course,
didn't
that
get
was
the full. He didn't get the full hit either. He wasn't inside with these guys. So, meanwhile, back in the front, Verite is just. He might as well be stapled to what would be the passenger door, because he's just like, there's no space, but he's still uncomfortable letting Artemis actually rest on him, so he's just holding her up.
Desperately trying to maintain that Bible's width on the bench.
But that's all of that happening in the front seat as you start to roll down the hill. The rest of you can feel it again, that feeling, that peace. It isn't just the
Gregorian
bridge.
chants.
Actually, in my head, it's the start of the Dark
Hildegard
Crystal.
von Bingen.
It's always the start of the Dark Crystal, but yeah, never mind.
The Halo theme.
All of the I don't even remember what they're called now. The ones that send him
Elfos?
out on his mission, the old dudes.
Oh.
The one they do the 12, the 12 baritones trying to out-erg each other. It's what a recording session. Anyway, Dark Crystal was stunning. One of my favorite movies ever. Anyway, back to this. Sid. You can hear it. Like, it's not ghosty, right? Your world is consumed by the ghosts and the all of that right now. But it's like an alarm clock. Now I'll use a modern analogy. It's like the alarm clock that's way over there because you're still so asleep. But something is intruding into this space. But you need to resolve, with a capital R, something before you can leave here. So that approaching sound is almost like fate, like a monster. If you don't figure something out by the time you get here, bad shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think what Sid hears is the engine of the airship. That's
Okay.
that drone.
Yep. Okay. That's how you process it. Yep.
Yeah. That impending resolution is he's sitting there, he's watching, he sees his father get up, talk to the man with no face, and they run off. And then his mother follows soon after and goes the other direction. And Sid's sitting there all by himself, listening to the engine drone. He sees a little girl walk past, holding the hand of a woman in a lab coat. And they have the same braid. He peeks his head out and watches her go. And I think just before they go into the next car or the next compartment, she turns. The little girl turns and looks at her. And she looks up to the lady and starts to say her name. And then the woman shushes her. He's like, "Be quiet, Felicity. Your parents cannot find out." And then he comes to. And he looks at Delilah with like she's got like a third eye.
So still, yeah, I'm going to, yeah. If that wasn't a trauma, it's at least a moment that's going to freeze you right now, like a continuation of the king, so to speak, in a mechanical sense. You know, you've exchanged one extreme trauma for another. But at that moment, you realize the buzz isn't right. That's not an engine. It's something else. It's drawing you back. It's drawing you back, and bang, you're back in the chair. You look at Delilah and glaze again from the outside world. Yeah, we're rolling down the bridge. The song emanating, doing all kinds of wild things with the natural vibrations of the bridge.
I think Delilah recognizes the hum from her sort of time out of her own body.
Yep, fair.
And she doesn't have time to like consciously, analyze what it is or how it works, but I think it reconnects her to some sort of calmness she felt when she was out of her own head. And it helps her focus on the driving.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So you get yourself sort of more comfortable and in the zone, and as you get to the end of the bridge, that sound starts to drop off, to you anyway, as you drive off the end of the bridge and beyond.
It keeps her from because she's still exhausted.
Yeah.
So it keeps her from becoming distracted in any sort of bad way.
As you start to look around, Verite is now unconscious. He's just gone to sleep. He's curled up. He's taken his hands out from under Artemis, and he's literally got his hands like this up against the padded side of the Orchid Mobile on some of the nice plushy dragon foam. And Artemis has crashed on his lap. And then in the back, Sid is 1,000 yards staring again. Behind that, you see Stefano, it's like the puppy trying not to sleep. And he keeps looking at Allegra like the puppy that's trying not to fall asleep, and it's like, this is your fault. And I didn't even stay awake.
I
I'm
can't
not
stay
tired.
awake. I don't trust you.
I'm not tired. I'm not tired. I'm going to be up. Oh, and he just sinks down into the back seat.
You just see him sink behind the
Yeah.
couch.
Allegra is just being like there's just this entity there that's just sort of humming in tune with something bigger than you can see.
Delilah without. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I wanted to stop it first, actually. Yeah.
Without turning back, because she has to keep her eyes on the road, she hears this silence as the hum fades, and she goes, "I don't know what you are." I'm sorry, I lost my whole train of
That's
thought in
okay,
that
yeah.
moment.
Okay, it's all right.
Ah!
It happens. It happens.
She, basically, she says like, "They called you a witch. I don't know if that's true, but if you hurt us or anyone that we are affiliated with." And then she just like, she pulls the car over. She's just like,
Yeah.
she's done.
Get the skids to a stop. Allegra, just as you hear that at the same time, you sort of feel something very strange. Someone is a better description. And you realize the bridge didn't vibrate with the wind. Somebody did it. Somebody who can do what you do. And then you hear that from Delilah. It's the double whammy.
And that shocks her into silence.
Mm-hmm. Why a bridge
As
of all things? But yeah,
I was doing
As
water
Delilah-
pipes. I mean, why not?
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
as Delilah pulls over, then she turns around to make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah,
She's like, alive, alive, alive.
emitting,
What the fuck?
emitting,
Alive.
What the fuck?
just emitting peace. Like that. I'm presuming that if I may be
It
so bold,
stopped.
it
It
stopped.
stopped.
But you're just that's okay. It stopped. So well, yeah. By the time you turn
No,
around,
it stopped. I'm
love it,
alarmed enough.
okay.
It stopped.
So you turn around and bang, they're just sitting there, and it's all gone. The whole feel.
Delilah's like starting to shake again, and she looks at Allegra, who she doesn't know the name of, very seriously, and she goes, "Who the hell are you?"
I'm nobody. I really, literally, I'm not anybody. They came. They needed help. Asked for someone. I could lead them to someone, but then it turned out I could. I'm
What?
nobody.
Okay, I don't believe that. Does Delilah like recognize her voice?
You, I don't know about that, but you absolutely categorically know that what you just experienced came from this person. But
Okay.
I would say you have no memory of, because you were unconscious through the whole visit in the town,
Okay.
right? So yeah.
Well, yeah, but like from Delilah's like dream, basically.
It's
Do I recognize the music?
vaguely. Let's do it. Let's do
Vaguely,
that.
okay.
Like, was it? It's one of those. Was it in a dream, or am I inserting
Okay.
it into a dream in retrospect? One of those things. Yeah.
Okay, so Delilah goes, "What did you do to them?"
I didn't do anything to them.
And why are they like this? Why did I have
Well,
to panic and drive the car?
Well,
What did you do to us while I was driving the car?
but they, um, I guess they're just relieved that you're better. I mean, they were on their last legs. I gather they'd been driving for, what did they say, 3 days? Trying to get you help.
What?
Sid, you hear 3 days, and it's like, has it been? And that's enough to snap you back into the loop, like to re-engage the transmission, so to speak. And you come into this conversation
You're just
here.
exhausted.
No, I went to bed.
Where
And
did you
then-
go to bed?
Just outside Florence.
Just outside the
Oh.
Well,
little
you're
Forley or whatever,
now-
wherever it was. The carnival.
but now you are just outside, and I've forgotten what town we just came out of that I've lived in my
Forley.
whole life.
Forley, yeah.
That's
Forley,
what-
yeah,
Forley.
yeah.
Well, now you're just outside Forley.
She looks at Sid like really panicked, like what happened?
Without a word, there's growth. Like there's multiple days beard growth. And he was clean shaven the last time you remember, because you always are in RPGs. It's like going to the bathroom; it just never happens, but it always is. But yeah, he's got growth. It's been days.
And he's like he's basically staring into your soul, like not blinking.
Yeah.
Like he follows your head, but he's like looking very intensely at you.
Delilah's like, what the fuck happened when I was asleep? You take 1 3-day nap and
Sid, what happened?
And by now, Allegra's caught on
yeah.
that she's looking at someone who's disoriented. She's not actually being attacked.
Yep.
Sid, what happened? Sid? What happened?
You were taken. I knew
Yeah.
you. You were taken.
What?
Ah,
I mean, I know I was taken.
and you can tell that he's thinking so hard it hurts. I saw it
Well,
happen.
You saw me be taken.
He looks off to the side. Him and her have been looking for you since we left the forest. They told me your name.
I only know one name. You know my name.
I know you. And I know the little girl on the airship. Or I saw her. She's you. I'm bloody sure of it.
It's wait. Wait. on the boat. On the raft. Were you on the airship then?
He nods slowly.
So that's my name. Well, so it's my first name.
I don't know anything else, but they've been trying to tell me since then.
Oh my god. She has to she takes a minute, she's so utterly shocked and her mind has been blown in a way. She kind of just stares at Sid for a very long time, and she's like, I think her brain is like, we'll process this in a minute.
Yep.
And she reaches out to Sid and strokes his little little mini beard, and she's like, you need to shave.
Been a little busy. Also, my ribs are taking a tour of my insides, and it's been a little hard.
Okay, I can fix that. We need to get to the next town, but I can fix that.
Verite at this point kind of wakes up, goes to stretch. He goes, "Ow, oh, sorry, Artemis." He looks down and Artemis is laying on him. He's, "Oh," and to no one in particular, he says, "Can we take turns in the hammock?"
Delilah will get out to let Verite out or whatever, and just Allegra, would you like to ride in the front?
I can. You don't know my name yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
I just realized. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
moment.
that's right. No,
Yeah.
she. So Delilah looks at the woman and says, "We may need to shift seats, if that's okay with you. Would you like to ride in the front? I don't bite."
I can. And now that she's speaking, you can realize she's been humming
Mhm.
a whole a thread underneath what people are saying. I can if you need me to. And she reaches down to pull out some crutches
Yep.
as she works to open the door
Yep.
to get herself out.
Delilah will open the door
Yeah.
for her.
It's like, I'm a little awkward here, but I can get this. She maneuvers her way out and up and kind of steps back a little bit to get around the door.
Okay, so Delilah will just sort of watch politely to make sure that things go fine. In that sort of awkward way where when you're not sure how exactly you should behave around someone with a handicap because you don't want to get yelled at for being too accommodating, but you don't want to be yelled at for seeming ableist or whatever.
This person may also be magical, which might add to that.
And
so,
yeah. So she's just sort of not saying anything, but watching, but not too closely and all that jazz. But she will open the door, the passenger side door for this person, and then Verite will she'll also try to help get Artemis in the hammock because Artemis needs the hammock at this point. Yep. And Verite, honestly, to Verite, she's like, backseat will rumble, your choice.
I'll go in the back with Stefano. But he
And
helps
as
you, which is
but as
like,
Allegra stands up to it, and it's like, hello, my name's Allegra. I didn't introduce myself to you earlier. You were a little out of it.
So I've gathered. Hi. Nice to meet you, Allegra. I'm Delilah.
how are
It's
you?
nice
Uh,
to see you awake.
What?
And I'm maneuvering around, maneuver my way around to get into the front, and then my crutches go back down to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, Chad asked the same thing when you said I'm Delilah. Did that sound at all or feel at all strange after
Not
what
yet,
you
it
just
doesn't.
found out? Is it a jolt, a
Not
jar?
quite. I don't think she's I don't think she's processed it quite enough yet. It's muscle memory still.
Sure. Yeah.
And she's a little bit fight or flight still.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
fair.
Yeah. A bit.
Um
Yeah.
so I think once everyone's settled in the car and she sits back in the driver's seat and begins to drive again, that's when it hits her.
Perfect.
And
Yeah.
meanwhile, I kind of stand out of the way to let Verite and Artemis be moved because I can't
Yep.
help with any of that.
Yeah, Verite actually helps move Artemis, and it's there's no more of the what do I do? What do I do? It's just like put him in
Well,
the.
now he
They
has
need to go in
something
the
to do.
hammock. So yeah, boom, puts him in the hammock, and then climbs over into the very back, and just he sits on the seat, and Stephanos kind of sprawled in the back seat, and Verite just puts his back against the other side and puts his feet on Stephanos' hips and just kind of unceremoniously goes and pushes him over. He says, "You stay on your side, I'll stay on mine." And he lets him go and turns out, and then almost immediately the two of them are asleep in the back like wing mirrors, like the wings on a '57 Chevy, both just leaning back, going but that's behind it. Sid, there's only one
NPCs
place
are
left
great.
under the hammock on
Yeah,
the back
that's where
seat.
it was before.
Yep.
That's where he was.
Yeah. It's
So
the
he
bottom
hasn't
bunk.
moved, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's been sitting, and Delilah's legs were over his laps. Now I
Yep.
guess it's Artemis's legs.
Well, yeah, Artemis is in the hammock now, so we have that strung
Mhm.
across, and then so there's the seat underneath with about
Yeah.
like submarine levels of space. So, yeah.
Yeah. Sid takes about 15-20 minutes to lie down
Yep.
very slowly.
And so I guess this means
And through a
yeah.
lot of this, basically, whenever she's breathing, Allegra is humming. It is not
Humming,
always.
humming. Yeah.
It's not always mystical woo-woo stuff.
Yeah.
But she is always humming.
Yeah. Speaking of which, just as you are sitting there one last time before you drive away, because I think Delilah's planning on driving away into the darkness here pretty soon. Allegra, you think back on that bridge thing. It's still right there. I mean, you guys stopped as soon as you got off of it. And as you turn and look way out in the middle, right where you were, out in the middle of the lanes, right where you guys were stopped, there's a person, and there's just little wisps of smoke coming off of something that they're holding. And they're gesticulating, not madly, they're not flailing, but you recognize it. They're doing something with the bridge.
They're, what is it, conducting the.
It might be a cleansing. It might be a blocking so that somebody's
Shooing the
coming
ghosts
after
off.
you. Yeah, something. It could very
Shooing
easily
the
be
ghosts
shooing the
off.
ghosts. Yeah.
And I'm not aware of any others that were like me in that way. Well, am I?
Nope.
In the city I've been in my entire life.
Yep. The little bridge that was right next door, you never knew. And basically, yes, basically my idea was something like a smudge stick. It's a little shock for
Okay.
you too. Maybe you aren't. Maybe there's more used than you thought. There's another one right there. So I led up to this. Delilah, are you driving off into the darkness?
Yeah, we I think
Canonically, you can see ish. It's always moonlit. This car
yeah,
doesn't have headlights, but we've never made a worry about it, so we ain't gonna start now.
put like lanterns on either side.
Yeah, it glints as it drives off into the darkness, and yeah, the boys could figure something out in a blink if need be. So, but
I have the flashlight.
that is true. That is absolutely true.
It's not like we're going that fast.
Nope. But part of
Nope.
this is you look at the map, Delilah. Sort of, and they go, you are here. This is Forley. We're going here, Ravina, or Ravena, or however it's pronounced. I probably
Ravenna.
should have Ravenna.
Ravenna.
Sure, Ravenna. Thank you.
Ravenna.
That's where you're going, and that's that far. And you look at that far that you don't remember.
She isn't sure whether she should ask or whether maybe it's for the best that she doesn't. Because maybe I don't know.
Maybe. Maybe is a great place to drop that. You drive off into the darkness. I'm going to. I think it's fair to say that you're the only one paying attention to the road as we head down this trip. I
Probably.
think, given what everybody else is doing, most of them are asleep or have no line of sight. Actually, no. Pardon me. You and Allegra are both in the front, so you can both see. You see in the middle. You've been driving for hours. I don't know if there's been much conversation or not, but you see a fire in the distance, a small fire like a campfire, and around it a very ahead of you, and it's beside. It appears to be beside the path of the road, and you can see a handful of huts, maybe a dozen.
I think I look to Allegra and just purely without like analyzing anything in this situation or like second guessing any kind of judgment of this decision, she turns to Allegra and just goes, "Do you trust that?"
I don't distrust it.
"Do you trust me?"
I don't distrust you.
"Should I trust you?" Let me
Here.
guess, I shouldn't distrust you.
Well, you probably should, but I'd rather you didn't.
Well, isn't that how we all feel? Look,
I've generally found that if you go in trusting and trustworthy, it generally works okay most of the time.
here's what I'm going to say. We barely know you, and you barely know us. But I'd like to trust you. However, and I'm sorry if this sounds like a threat, I'm new to not being intimidating. If, for any reason, we find we shouldn't trust you, there will be consequences. Just as there are consequences for any bad actions that happen.
You hear
Does
Sid
that
in
make
his
sense?
sleep. You hear Sid in his sleep. I'll knock your bloody block off.
We, he won't, but metaphorically, we could. I do not understand what it is that you've been doing. Oh, I've noticed. Yes, I've noticed. I don't pretend to know, but you did something, and it wasn't bad. So unless you do something bad, I think we'll be okay. Okay?
Thank you for being forthright. You're right. I don't know any of you. Came into town needing to find a doctor just as I was being summoned to be tried as a witch, which I didn't know was what was going to happen, but I do know that the outcome was already decided before I got there. So I am quite literally grateful for my life.
I believe I should also be grateful for mine, if what I gather is true.
Well, so it was more yourself. It was more the the song of the universe and the harmony. You still harmonized with it, and you still resonated and were still part of the song. So it's
Not
not
gonna lie,
it's
that
not that
made no
I
sense to me.
did anything. It was more you were still part of the song.
And at that moment, you notice the fire's gone out. Been put out.
That
I know.
probably doesn't bode well.
I've since been put out too.
Apparently.
Trying to fix it.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least we're not
Yeah.
fruit basket upset, so that's okay.
There you go.
Ducks, we need ducks.
Ducks. I don't know what happened to my
Ducks, all the
camera.
ducks.
I fixed it. It's okay. At least I fixed the who's in which. No, now we got to go back the other way.
Yes, Scott, quack.
Yes.
That's how we solve technical issues around here at Dirty 20 Gaming. We
clack at it
sacrifice ducks.
until it stops. Yes.
Quack.
So, yeah, that fire goes out. Pfft. Sid can't see it anyway.
There we
So-
go. I'm back, baby.
I don't
Yeah.
know what happened there.
It got bored. It has no class.
Zoom was bored. I'm gonna mess things up just because.
Your camera's like, I thought we were playing Dave the Diver. And I'm going to sleep.
So I think that sort of change in lighting in her peripheral vision
Yep.
catches her attention. She looks over and she's like,
What time is it now?
Middle
I
of
mean,
the
is
dark,
this-
like 3 a.m.
So
sort of thing.
This
Yeah.
isn't. It didn't just fade and go out. It was snuffed.
It
out.
was snuffed.
you think they know we're here?
That's well. I mean, how loud is the vehicle? I don't. That's something I don't actually know.
It's only the sound of tires on the road. It's driven by a spring.
Okay.
But I mean,
do-
we have.
do-
You're
people
either
know
lit.
that?
You at least have the flashlight sticking off the front of it. So
Yeah, I think we have the flashlight, but I think she pulled the car off in like a little towards like a copse of trees.
Yep.
Like maybe 50 feet from these, or like 100 feet
Yep.
from these huts.
Yep.
And she's gonna get out, and at this point, it's not, she's like dissociating a little bit, but not in the same way that she dissociates when she has a king.
yeah.
She's- She knows that she is not in a position yet to process everything that has happened. But it is slowly emerging from the back of her mind. And things are beginning to start ruminating. Especially, she gets out, she like unhooks the flashlight from the car, and she turns to Allegra and says, "Would you like to come investigate?"
So
That's
did
a
you hear
little
that from the back?
challenging.
Yeah.
It's a little challenging in the dark where I don't know the terrain.
Okay, but no, that's fine.
I mean, I could if you need me to.
No, actually, we need someone awake to stay with the others, so that's probably better, actually.
Sid sort of
It doesn't
stirs.
seem safe for you to go by yourself, though.
Wait,
I'll be
we
okay.
stopped again.
Sit,
Um,
shh, go back to sleep.
Ugh.
No,
Um,
that's probably not a good idea.
They all need rest, and
Well,
they
yes,
need someone to
that's
keep an eye on them. I don't mind. If there's danger, I will run.
okay.
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 Your bravery bluff being called, Delilah. You now must make your way off into the darkness alone with nothing but a flashlight.
Honestly, she's like, she knows this is stupid, but also like,
Yep.
whatever, man, whatever.
This is Artemis
She almost
speeding up.
fell off a fucking bridge.
I was just gonna say this is Artemis speeding up, going down the hill. I get it. This is if we're gonna go hard. Yep, I got you.
Sid stops her and is like, Delilah, Miss Stillwater, be careful.
I'll be fine.
Oh, as he lays back down. Yeah.
Dad
be fine.
noises.
Yeah.
She has her scalpel at the ready if
Yep.
she has to.
Wow, what a sight. Facing the
Got me
infinite darkness with a tiny metal blade and a
Got me
flashlight.
stabby bits.
A wind up flashlight. Delilah, you head off into the darkness, and the moon is just setting now. It's that time of the night. So when you look back, you can hardly see the light reflecting off the spider work, like that spider web metal of the car.
Mhm.
Everything in the car is still, except for you can see in the front seat Allegra's head sort of moving around. And even though you're way too far away, you can tell she's humming. And somehow
Red on the wind.
somehow
Mhm.
that humming sort of asks, and then if you say yes, forms around you.
I think Delilah starts to hum with it. Sort of subconsciously at first.
And
But it vaguely pokes at that memory of that dream she had.
Yep.
It's that same sort of knocking at the door, asking if she'll let it in.
Yes. And then if you do you? You say yes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear that voice again. Oh, there you are. And this sense of safety wraps around you as you head into town. Town is a big word for this mess. It's, like I said, about a dozen little huts. It wasn't much before. The first one you get to has been burned down. The next one, the door is wide open, and when you look inside, the inside looks like it's been picked pretty clean, but the door itself has got a big red X painted on it. Fresh paint. Keep moving further in. The next one, another red cross on the door. The next one, no. The next one, no. The next one, no. But then another X. As you're working your way around this sort of semicircle of huts, you finally get a clear view of the little campfire that somebody had built. They built it right in the middle, as centrally, but as far away from each individual hut as it's possible, like the center of a wheel. Like they need to be close, but they're disturbed by being too close. It's like a moth distance thing.
Yeah.
You can see the remains of a campfire that's recently been snuffed out. It's still smoking a little bit. You can see a flat spot on the ground where a bedroll was, and a drag mark where somebody quickly grabbed a backpack and pulled and went. But by the remains of the fire, there's also, you can see some like scrap metal, a couple of cans of food, and a little carefully folded pile of clothes.
Um, she is going to. She's done her like circle around the town. She knows there's no one like out and about right now.
That's right. No one's moving. At least as far as you know.
I think she will light the fire to sort of subtly establish that her presence is there.
Yep.
So, as it takes time a little bit to light this fire again, she kind of stares into the embers as they're rekindling and is still thinking about everything that she just learned. And the process of, I don't know if she remembers the exact thought process she had while she was in her, near death state, but I think she remembers the feelings and the sentiments, even if she can't put them into words yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she thinks of something, but I'll do it in a bit.
Okay.
But as the fire begins to, establish itself, does she notice anyone stirring?
You don't see anybody move, but you hear from inside one of the huts, because you hadn't really gone into any of them. You hear from inside one of the huts, "Please don't take my stuff."
Is this your stuff?
Yes. And there is a question mark at the end of that.
It's all right. I won't take it.
Can I come out? Will you hurt me?
She puts her scalpel away. No. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
And this shape appears in a doorway, all crunched up and just thin, rail thin. They come out. I just came for some clothes and bit of food. I left most of it. There's still lots, and I can even show you which houses have got the most food in them. I just want to take this.
Are you from here?
Nobody's from here anymore. But I didn't leave, if that's what you mean.
Is this a... Where is this?
This used to be Hilio. But then the plague came, and he points at the X's on the doors. People panicked and left. But that paint's fresh. That paint's only a couple months old, at the most. Maybe not even. You haven't really looked close, but I mean, it's fresh paint.
How... Was that recent?
Yeah, last month.
I thought the plague was over.
That plague, another plague, punishment from... There was all kinds of theories. But eventually, the ones that hadn't got sick left.
Are you okay? Are you
No.
okay?
I'm practically starving. I made clothes. I hardly know how to cook.
Delilah is okay, so she looks at this person. First of all, she says, "What's your name?
What?
What's your name?"
Oh, Juan? Like you had to think about it for a second?
Can you spell that?
Juan. It's the Spanish
Oh, okay, one.
Juan. Yeah.
One.
But he's Italian, so I didn't want to pronounce it with the hua.
Yeah, one.
So he's just Juan.
I'm Felicity. I'm Felicity. I'll be right back. Don't leave.
Okay, I'm
And
just gonna.
she-
And he backs into the shadows,
That's fine.
kind of around the corner of a building.
She actually kind of jogs back to the car, and she goes through her bag, and she grabs several different things, including some food and one of her like first aid charges.
Yep.
And
Sid and Allegra, you see this?
What did you
What's
find?
going on?
there's a survivor, but barely. I'll be back. Maybe not for a couple minutes. It's fine. And she grabs one last thing, and she's got this like bundle of stuff in her arms, and she heads back to the huts.
Yep. The two of you
Uh,
see Delilah turn and go. Do anything?
Are you awake?
Never went back to sleep.
I don't think she should be alone. I think as I move to open the door to try
Yeah.
to move out.
Sid is also moving rather slowly, rolling himself out from under Artemis and, making his.
So she was very concerned that someone should stay here and be awake here. But maybe the situation has changed since she now says it's a survivor rather than.
You know what? Let me drive. I'll pull it over to where she is. Because I'm assuming it's,
Okay.
not
Yep.
like.
It's right near the main.
The-
Yep. You can drive
yeah,
right
it's
up to
right
it.
near
Yep,
Well, and the fire
absolutely.
is there. She's relit the fire, so we can
Yep.
see where it is.
Absolutely. So yeah,
There's a
as you're getting
garage.
ready to get out and have to walk in the dark, Allegra, you're saved by Sid, who says, "No, we'll just drive." So
Yeah.
Okay.
much groaning and
I
moaning.
will. I will pull my crutches up
Yeah.
so that when we
You're-
get there, I can.
Absolutely, in case you have to get out in a hurry. Sid, you managed to somehow get over the seat. Your vision only comes to a cone about this big 3 or 4 times on the way, once for each rib. But yeah, you finally get over and sit down. Have you ever driven the car before? I know you've seen it and you've pedaled like a mad bastard many times, but have you ever actually?
No, but I
run
think
the
he was
throttle?
kind of there during parts of the construction.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
he.
Yeah, I'm
as
not going to
an
make you roll. I
engineer-
just
Well,
want to
I was
know.
going
an
to say, as an
engineer.
engineer, if he doesn't know
Yeah.
how, he can figure it out in 30 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
He
not.
knows
It's
how
not.
these
I just
two
wanted to kind of know
maniacs think.
how much concentration you're going to have to put on just driving this thing. But
Mhm.
anyway,
It's
so
more concentration from the pain.
yes, yeah, trying to lean
Um,
because you have to lean to steer this thing, right?
Mhm.
So it's ow, 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 ow. How
Well,
sharp
it's a
is this
group-
corner? Oh, 3 cracked ribs to the left.
He sort of explains to Allegra that it's a group effort,
Yeah.
under normal circumstances.
That I can understand.
we pedal and there's a spring underneath and all that stuff.
And I'm very much humming and swaying
Yeah.
with the. I'm syncing
Mhm.
with you.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, and so yes, this. didgeridoo sounds came pouring into my head. That sort of wow, wow,
That's
wow,
Scott's
wow,
fault for the
wow.
kangaroo comment.
Yes, it is.
Probably, but I'm taking it anyway. I don't care. Thank you, Scott. I love it. That's the note I want right now in my head playing for this scene. So yeah, with that sort of, yeah, actually, I'm going to use that Allegra. It's not the regular song. This moment has a very different, very foreign sound to it, a feel to it.
Uh-huh. But it fits these people I'm with.
Oh,
Very
absolutely.
clearly.
Yes. Yep.
I mean, I got a quite a good um a good feeling for them
Yes. Yep.
in the tuning earlier,
Yeah.
and so yeah.
So yeah, they're a chorus. This is like a guitar solo off in the distance. It's not quite part of the group yet, but you can feel it out there trying. Sid, you're just like the road, the vision. It's kind of cool because your vision is narrowed down from the pain to the point where it's perspectively almost perfectly matches the road you're driving down. So, you turn a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, you can see as you're getting closer to the town.
Oh, watch out for that rock. That
Rock. Yeah.
Bollocks.
okay.
God, you hear him swearing in English.
Yeah.
So so you probably get about every third or fourth curse.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, fuck is universal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Merda.
and it's like, and the interjection's clear
Oh
regardless.
yeah. The
of what-
intent is yes. There's no questioning the intent.
Broken Ribs has a sound.
Delilah, you
Not
get there
worse.
first.
Mm-hmm.
You come sort of in my head. Is barreling the right word? You barrel back into this clearing.
Hurrying.
Yeah. Okay. So you vroom, come in there. As you close, you see them come out the door again. They take about 4 steps, look over your shoulder, see the car coming behind you, turn around and hightail it back into the same hut. Just take my stuff. Just take my stuff. Don't hurt me. Please leave the food. And a can opener.
Lila, are you taking hostages?
As the car skids to a stop behind you.
She whips around. She's like, "I told you not to come closer."
No, you
she
didn't.
goes, "I told you you'd be fine." And then
It's not the same at all.
that's what I meant. And then she puts everything down and she's like, "Stay in the car, please." And then she goes to the hut and she knocks on the door and she's like, "One, it's okay. They're not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. We're not going to take your stuff. We just want to help."
You knocked.
Yeah. I'm polite like that.
Hi, I'm Juan. It's nice to meet you.
She kind of like lets him open the door and she takes a step to the side.
He steps out into the space and he looks over at the cars. They're not going to kill me?
And the door's opening and crutches are emerging
And
out.
yeah, out of one side and out of the other side. I mean, you guys look like you've just been through a war, honestly. Right?
Sid's wearing
No.
a white muscle shirt, but you can see all the purple
Oh,
underneath.
yeah, the bruises and
It
the
looks
blood
like he's
stains on the
wearing-
shirt. Yeah, you look like a pizza. It's,
Yeah.
it's all the wrong colors. Just yeah.
Ugh.
And behind you in the thing is 3 looks like bodies for the they're passed out so hard in the car, right? One of them's on a hammock, the other 2 are sprawled out the back of your Orchid Mobile.
One, this is Allegra and Sid. And in the car is Artemis, Verite, and Stefano. You'll probably meet them later. Sid and Allegra. This is one. His town kind of left.
Yes, I can feel that.
And she goes
And
over to
Allegra's
the food that
making
she
her way
brought.
over Yeah, Allegra's making her way over to the fire and is
Yeah.
gonna settle down next to the fire.
Yeah. I almost called myself Artemis. Delilah makes her way over to the food that she set down and is now going to pick back up and take it over to Juan's pile of food and add to it like, hey,
Do you
This
have a
is- this
can
is-
opener?
I have a knife.
I lose a lot when I just hit it with a rock until it opens. It goes everywhere.
Can I try to like use my scalpel to open it up?
It's
That would
metal
ruin the
cans.
scalpel.
Yeah,
I was
It would
gonna
ruin the
say,
scalpel.
Sid's forge hammer could probably.
Oh yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, just
That would
pop
be
it.
like banging with the rock.
Once they wake up, either one of the boys could knock something together in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. So,
What's
well,
a basic can opener?
I'm sure you guys have got one.
yeah.
Yeah,
something.
we've got a can opener.
It's a
Did you
Red
not
Bull
realize it's a
can.
Red Bull can?
Just turn it over and spam, you idiot. It's spam and ravioli
Thank you,
over
Scott.
here, son. What are you doing? Yeah.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah.
So Delilah is going to offer the can opener and the food. And are you hurt in any way? Are you okay? Do you need
No, I'm just
any
lazy.
medic? Is that why you didn't leave?
That's why I didn't keep leaving. I did not know that we were going to be expected to walk for days and days. I'm not doing it. I'd rather stay
Right.
here and starve. Except starving sucks. And now it's too late because I don't remember where they went.
Why don't you just walk to Ravenna? It's not that far.
By myself?
Oh, boo-hoo, you made your choices.
Ah, you're going to kill me.
No, I'm not gonna kill you. God.
Sid hasn't sat down. He's
Mhm.
actually kind of wandering the village.
Yep.
Wanders over to the doors with the red X.
Yep.
And if some of us remember, Sid's place back in Florence had a red X on the door.
Yep. It's universal. That's why I did it.
For a very
it's
specific
happened
reason.
For thousands of years, the big red X on the door
Mhm.
has meant the same thing. Plague.
He peeks into the window, one of the houses.
One of the ones with the X's on it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's still in place. Tables, chairs. There's even like tablecloths that are just starting to rot a little bit. But people lived here less than a month ago.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna go around to the back and see if he can see into the bedroom.
There is, when you look in, you see the pallet where the mattress was, and you can see marks on the floor where it looks like they've just wrapped up the mattress around the deceased and dragged it out.
He comes back to the campfire where everybody else is and says to Juan, "Is there a gravesite or a pyre?"
At the start, they were burying them, like Mrs. Thatcher, and he just goes down the row and names 3 or 4 of them. He says, but then there was like 5 in one day, and they were already talking about leaving. So those ones they put in the river.
That's not safe. And he thinks the town, Orly. There's a city not that far from here. You say they dumped him in the river. Their water
Or
source.
not downriver.
You, as you point, he says, "That's upriver." So yeah, it does. It's not a problem. I mean, there's people downriver, but none of the people you've met.
That's
So,
upriver.
Yeah.
Just right. Engineer, not geologist.
It's been a long day.
Sid laughs hard enough that his
That's
ribs
funny.
hurt. He's like, oh, yeah.
Are there so like in the houses that aren't X'd out?
Yep.
What's
Robbed blind.
in those? Robbed
Robbed blind.
Okay.
Nothing left. The furniture's been broken up for firewood. The stuff's all gone out of the cupboards.
Okay.
Way more than one person could ever possibly have taken.
Yeah. Delilah is going to actually head over to Juan again and say, look, you've only got a few choices. You can head to a town, which, yes, will take some looking, but it beats starving. Or you can starve.
I'm gonna have to think about it.
While the fire area is starting to look quite inviting.
Yes.
The fire's been stoked up,
Yeah.
and the food things that were stacked there are kind of sort of set out invitingly. And with her skirts down around and the crutches aren't obvious,
Yeah.
Allegra is just right there being productive, making a nice sanctuary space.
Perfect. The second you start prepping the food, the boys in the back, like, huh? It's like they smelled bacon, just it's like an instinctive reaction. Breakfast? Huh? They come snapping awake. Artemis, no response. You've checked. You've had time to check. There's nothing physically wrong other than exhaustion with
Yeah.
Artemis, but yeah.
Little malnourishment, maybe.
Yeah. A lot of stress.
Yeah.
I took care of some of the
Delilah-
stress.
Yeah. Delilah just sits by the fire and sighs and just kind of looks into the fire. There's one more thing that she brought with her, and she is kind of thinking about what she wants to do with it.
Okay.
So the humming, as people are starting to look sort of thoughtful, and when there's sort of a lull in the conversation, the humming starts taking on kind of an invitational tone, very similar to when Delilah was out.
Mm-hmm.
And as people start talking, it kind of fades away to make space for it. And as people quiet down, it swells back in to sort of preserve the space until someone's ready, but to give time to process and think.
You notice, Allegra, that Stefano keeps kind of side-eyeing you a little bit as he digs around in the back of the vehicle. He comes up with a little metal plate about this big, and he looks around on the ground for a little while, and he gets a little handful of sand, and he sprinkles the sand on it, and he walks towards you and says, "Can you do the hummy thing, please?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you do that hummy thing that you do that makes everything go bzzz? Like you did at the bridge? Like you did when you made everybody feel better? The thing?
Well, I mean, I'm humming right now.
I know, but I mean the one that makes everything weird. I'm sorry, wrong word, but I don't.
I'm sorry, I don't. I'm not placing what you're saying. I don't.
Okay, can you just hum then?
Well, I've been sort of humming and singing. I mean,
Oh,
yeah, sure.
okay, can I? And he starts to hold up this plate in front of you, and he's watching as it vibrates ever so slightly. And you know how when you vibrate a plate, the sand forms patterns. And he's looking and looking and looking. No, that's not the one. That
But as it forms patterns and I recognize that it's harmonizing with, I
Mhm.
start shaping the patterns.
Oh, oh,
And
oh,
so it
oh! I
makes
can
sort
feel
of
that
a
in my hand.
rosette. It
Oh,
makes sort of a rosette like thing with in the patterns.
yeah, and you could see
But
his.
that's cool. That's cool. How did you do that?
You look up, and it's like he's split down the middle. Right, half of his
Like
brain.
a mandala, yeah.
Yeah, half of his brain is fascinated and is trying to figure out how you're doing that. You can see it's trying to do science. The other half of his brain is going magic, run away.
And she's just fascinated. It's like, that's very cool. How did you do that?
I
I mean, she's
just,
a little
I
aware that she
no,
influenced it, but she
no,
isn't.
no,
Um,
no, and he actually puts it down and like you can unconsciously dusting off his hat. No, not me. I just measured. I just physics, physics, unpaid intern.
okay.
How
And it just
no?
settles down. I mean, it just settles to flat sand.
I'm gonna do some math before breakfast. And he turns around and heads for the back of the vehicle, leaving the little tray there, the little metal plate with the sand on it.
Okay.
And
Allegra
you continue
settles
making
back
breakfast.
down.
All right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Allegra settles back down
Yep.
and continues to hum. And but when people are talking meaningfully, I mean,
Yes.
the song always contains an invitation as people actually start talking.
Yeah.
It does the what Stefano was calling the woo woo thing.
Yes. And as soon as that starts, you see him like a dog when the whistle blew. He just like, "Ooh," and he comes back and just staring down at that the thing that you made the Mandela on. What's on that right now? What is the sand doing? When you're not thinking about it, you're just being Allegra.
um, it's it is flat and smooth and still, but it somehow evokes a very, very deep lake that is very still and smooth, but you can almost feel the resonance all
Yeah.
down.
And he's just looking at it and muttering, going, "That's not physics. That's not physics. That's not physics."
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh, I
And
didn't realize
Sid's,
I was talking out loud. And Sid, yeah,
I was gonna say, and Sid's watching his mom dance.
fair.
Every
Yep,
time Allegra starts getting into her song,
yep.
his mother shows up and she's dancing in her dress.
And because of what the song is capable of, every time this happens, every time the song gets sort of special, you can almost feel the ribs knitting together. It's like that itch, that healing itch. That's
It only does heart and steam. It doesn't heart and
yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yep.
it doesn't do steel.
I know. I don't care. It doesn't mean
Okay.
his ribs are actually healing. It just means he feels that tickle.
Psychosomatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Psychosomatic. Power of the brain.
It was
It
a way
is
to
physics. See, it's totally
he
physics.
can feel himself
Or
healing. He just
chemistry.
can't process it in the way that makes sense other than his ribs. There.
Psychology.
Ta-da. Yeah. But
His
But
ribs are
so
just
the
so on
firelight.
his mind.
Yeah. Well, and so there's the firelight. Kind of goes in as it sort of dims further out. And the darkness is kind of out. In that area feels like a sheltered sanctuary, like it's
yes.
enclosed, even though it's not, and it feels like a safe space, a
Perfect.
comfortable space.
And after Juan scarfs down whatever food you put in front of him, he promptly falls asleep on his back, looking like a snake that has swallowed a beach ball. just
And I'll reach over and
food
pull
coma.
his cover over it. Pull his
Yeah.
cover over him.
It's like 2 pieces of toast and an Oreo.
It
was the best I've eaten in weeks.
Delilah's gonna go check on Artemis.
But kind
Dreaming.
of
Yeah.
as you're starting to move, and as Allegra's just pulled the whatever the cover over one, and kind of says, "This is who I am. This is what I am." And she goes back to bustling. I mean, she said a very district
Yeah.
as part of that conversation we were having way back when.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like, adds a piece to it and then continues on and leaves the conversation behind where it was.
And Stefano is just, you can see he's processing as hard as he can, but this kind of processing is not his long suit. This isn't math. He's he's having to use his EQ, not his IQ, and it's not going well at the moment. He's having a hard
Harmonics
This
time.
doesn't fit into any of my
totally
algebra
math.
formulas.
Yeah.
Harmonics are totally
Oh,
math.
I know, but he hasn't figured that out yet.
Yeah. So Delilah goes.
That's the only part of physics I understood.
She seems a
Harmonics.
little restless. And she actually stands up and goes and checks on Artemis at one point.
Yep. Artemis is resting comfortably, deeply asleep, and you see the rapid eye movement. Serious dreams going on.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to those.
Which
Which
next
we'll
week.
learn
So
all about
she'll-
next time.
So she'll come back to the fire, and she's just contemplating, I guess.
Yeah.
Still.
And this time it's the sun coming up, not going down. It's early. It's cool and windy a little bit.
Sid's making tea.
Yep. That little
Allegra's
wisp of
drifting off to
steam.
sleep.
Yes, after all
Yeah,
night,
just like-
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
but
That's a lot of butts.
so I have
Booty.
3
Like a fashion
tokens
show,
for
like
tomorrow.
like a fashion
I have
show,
3
a nudist speech. But. What?
I have 3 tokens for
3
tomorrow.
tokens for tomorrow. Perfect. And then you can, each of you can, let's call it a rest. You guys can do the card to draw if you wish.
I think
Drop
I've
as
gone
many
through all of
as
my
you
spades.
wish and draw up to your full hand.
I've gone through all of my spades though. The last 24 hours,
Hey.
I've gone through all of
Okay.
Yeah.
my spades.
Should have shuffled better. Um, That's okay. So I think there's a really quiet moment as Sid is making tea and Allegra is falling asleep. Delilah takes Allegra. What you see as you're falling asleep is that Delilah has 3 leather-bound journals with her, and she takes one of them and rips out about half of the pages that all look like they were written on and in some way, leaving only the blank pages. And then she gathers those up with the 2 remaining journals and just tosses them into the fire. And doesn't say anything about it.
The paper burns. But the leather kind of curls and shrinks and
Sid takes the teapot off the fire.
yeah, Delilah in particular, the smells of treated flesh
Yeah.
coming back. Everything that she stood for.
Yeah.
As you stand here on a bright new morning and witness the burning of Elizabeth Agori.
And Allegra, it has no meaning to you.
Well, it clearly means a lot
Sid-
to you doing it, but yeah, you wouldn't have the backstory.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean,
This
you
was-
don't.
this was
Allegra doesn't know the
ritualistic,
meaning.
right?
of
I
it.
mean, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's fine. I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying it looks very like something meaningful just happened, but you have no idea what it was. And
Allegra has witnessed a lot.
True.
Kind of who she is and what she does.
Yep.
She witnesses
True.
a
Yeah.
lot of
And
that. Yes.
Sid, does Sid know about the journals?
He would have seen them, because it was you and Artemis that had that conversation. But he would have
Yeah.
definitely seen them throughout the journey.
Plus when Artemis did all the pictures, there was that whole thing was done sort of publicly. The pictures were shown, so therefore to make sense of the pictures, you probably would have had to have at least talked about the journals and the people
Probably,
mentioned
yeah.
in them. So yeah,
Yeah. So
And Sid would have recognized the name on the cover.
if nothing
True.
else, the books and where they were from, right?
Yeah.
If nothing else.
yeah. So Delilah has just put them in the fire.
Mhm.
So if I count correctly, you burned 2.5 and kept half.
Yeah.
So you kept one leather-bound volume with only half of its pages,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I take my scalpel and I scrape off her name from the leather.
Let's make it easy. It's just a monogram on the back.
Okay.
So it's only 2 letters.
And then I take my scalpel and I start to carve a D. And right before I would start the curve, I stop and then turn it into an F.
So it's Felicity then.
But I'd try something else out. Something new-ish.
Well, I can't say I don't like the sound of it. And he hands you the cup of tea and sits down beside you. Did it help?
The burning?
Knowing?
Yeah. Then knowing what? There's a lot to know.
Sid takes a second. He's like, right, there's a lot to that one.
Knowing that my parents loved me. Yeah, that did help. Knowing that they lost me hurts. But knowing that they're alive and I can find them again gives me hope.
Then he just sort of looks behind him, or looks behind you. Like, I don't know who those two are then. I'm glad that you'll be able to see yours again. But if it wasn't for them, we never would have found out. And he looks to Allegra. And if it wasn't for you... Yeah, as she's passed out. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have you.
You should really let me take care of those ribs.
I really should.
Drink your tea, then
Are
lay
you
down.
going to?
Yes. And so we'll do a little sort of cutscene. I'm going to presume that you take the morning for some healing and some replacement of bandages and 2 good meals without having to be on the run from something in between them. A chance to teach Juan how to use a can opener and how to cook. So I'm going to say it's like midday by the time you're ready to head out. Is that the plan?
Sounds about right. Give everyone have time to have a mid-morning snooze.
And Allegra goes from being graceful and graceful and gracious and all of that to being awkward again as she gets herself back up.
Absolutely, yeah. So,
In that morning bit,
Mhm.
as Allegra's, moving about all awkward and stuff, you can see Sid actually writing stuff down on a little notepad as he's watching her.
Can you say that again?
As Sid's watching Allegra sort of get up and move about, he's like writing stuff down, like he's observing her and then making notes.
mhm.
Okay.
Kevin and I had predictions about this. We were discussing my character's
Yeah.
backstory and all.
Yep. Yeah, Stefano's a little too shocked right now to yeah, but we'll get there. And Verity's still sort of eating breakfast. But
Yeah.
anyway,
And the difference is clear because, when she was down, when she was down on the ground at that, I mean, she was very much in her element. Nobody would have ever noticed
Yeah.
that she was disabled until she was getting up to move somewhere else.
yes.
At one point, he actually shows Verite his notes.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Um,
points to the Arkhamobile, points to Allegra. Just little quick engineer shorthand comments.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, we should be keeping a tally here.
yeah.
As each of those comes true, it's like,
Yeah.
Does anybody
Sid.
remember? So if you wanna heal, like for whatever category you want to heal in, you have to use that amount of that suit,
Successes.
right?
No.
No,
No.
just successes.
Yeah, just successes.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I play spades, but it heals hearts and clubs.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
a special ability. But when you use your thing, it's just successes. In your case, it's in gear because you're using your gear to heal.
It is in gear.
Yeah.
But you do need the number of successes as level of trauma.
So yeah, if it's a
for
level
a
3
level
trauma,
three,
you
like-
need 3 successes.
Equal to
Yeah.
the level to succeed. Sid, what's your trauma level in steel?
My steel is at 3.
Okay, what's your other stuff?
one
Haven't
and
got
one.
3. What can I help?
One
with?
and one?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, no. Sid fell off the side of a house
Yeah.
Yeah.
after saving
After
a car
curling
off
a
of the
car
bridge.
one-handed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
full Captain America there.
Can I
Yep.
take damage to accomplish this question? So
Yeah.
yes.
and
yes, you
I've
can.
provided comfort and buffering to
Mhm.
some of the others, but
His
I got
flash and
nothing for
steam are
steel.
okay. Like
Yeah.
you actually healed his only significant flesh trauma
Yeah.
with the song.
Okay.
But yeah, Sid's like a stiff
What
breeze
is
away
my
from dying.
coin?
Yeah. So you guys are, as I say, healing and whatnot. We'll get into that. I don't intend on hurting you for the rest of this episode. But anyway, we'll figure that out as we go along.
Okay.
But you guys start to make your way out of Forley. Juan stays behind. Hasn't decided yet what he's going to do. But he's eating better. He's got a can opener now. So
He's had a night of respite.
he has a
I think
safe.
we would've- I think we would have given him like a little map of like the surrounding area
Yeah.
because we've got a big map.
Yep. And
So-
you can see when you do, you can see that it just gets overwhelming for him. It's not the physical side of it; it's too much to think about.
Yeah. So
But he's
put in-
processing.
Been there.
Yeah.
Been
Yep,
there.
puts it in
Although
a little
that's
box.
the kind of stuff that the song would have eased last night.
Yes. Yeah. And you can see it in the morning. He's sort of standing there having his tea. He keeps looking around. Like for the first time, you can tell it's the first time he's looked beyond the limits of this little hut village and considered that maybe, just maybe. So that's what you leave him standing behind you, which is the glimmer of hope. How appropriate. And as you make your way out of town,
I think the map would have a note that says "for when you're ready."
Yes. Yeah, I like that. And we're still nowhere near Ravina, but as you make your way a little further down the road, the nice thing with this part of the world is it was built before cars. So the spacing of towns is one horse day's drive apart, which conveniently is the comfortable rate to drive your vehicle at. So you left at noon, so it's getting late at night, and it's one of these. I use this phrase way too often, but it just works. You come over a ridge and see. That's it's a universal D&D is just all role playing games are full of ridges that you can come over and see
Ridges
things
or around corners.
around corners, and yes, it's just full of dramatic reveals. But this one is dramatic. It's another little town. It's bigger than the last one. In fact, it looks like at some point it was a fairly good sized town, maybe 7 to 10,000 people before 30 years ago before. And like so many, and particularly like Florence, you can see from up on this ridge looking down into the valley that the outside of it has all just been let go. And there's just a little spot in the middle that's, you can see they've even put the fence up like they did in Florence. And inside that, there's smoking chimneys and sounds of people living. There's only a couple of big buildings that you can see, considering it used to be the center of town. It looks like something's happened here, but there is only 3 or 4 large buildings that you can see inside that enclave. But there's a fair number of people from what you can tell. Not thousands, but maybe hundreds.
It's a little weird seeing civilization. And he says that with the side eye to Felicity, in the last place didn't count.
Yeah. The one before that's under 3 meters of ash. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Think they'll have civilization things.
you guys never did manage to
Does that mean
restock
they'll
at the
take-
fair, which was
Does that
the
mean they'll
sole
take
reason.
currency? They'll require currency for things?
We have copper and gold in
Mhm.
some measure.
You suppose they need a... How difficult do you suppose it is to transfer notary credentials?
I wouldn't know. Things were
Maybe there'll be some sort of an exam, but if they need to go based on trust.
things were mostly taken care of for me back in Florence.
Oh, are you from Florence?
Ooh.
We're all from Florence.
What's left of it? You're looking at about at least 10% of what's left.
Oh. What do I know of the eruption and so forth,
Given
given where I was? I mean, it would have
you would
been
have seen
up
it,
enough. It would have seen.
gone to
Yeah.
the south, wiped and clearly wiped out all kinds of things. The reason my eyes got big is because Florence has the rumors
Reputation.
attached to it. The reputation of necromancy is the word that keeps getting thrown about. The further away you guys would notice if you have this conversation, the further away you get from Florence, the wilder the stories get, because that's how that works. But necromancy is the central theme of it. They did things to dead people to get them to do the work of the living. I would quick interjection, because earlier on, Sid, you said you went to Verite with your plans.
Mm-hmm.
He nodded and said yes. Like agreed with that the plans make sense.
Mm.
But that's it. Very almost uninterested.
I, as a player, find that interesting. Allegra wouldn't have the faintest idea.
Yeah, no, Sid's just like
I think
You
I
don't
blacked
think it would
out
be a good idea?
during that part.
Not my place, really.
I just thought it would help.
And he just nods and stays silent.
So yeah, he thinks that, or Sid understands, well, he tries to. I mean, it's verite. It's like shot in the dark half the time. He still makes a couple extra notes, listens to he honestly he was looking at Verite's responses to each little
Oh yeah.
notation and where.
Yep. Mechanically, he's willing to say it's a perfectly sound design, but really, probably the most telling thing, he does not offer to help you or do it for you.
Well, I wasn't going to let him do it for me. It's
No,
Sid.
but he doesn't even offer
Yeah,
nothing.
but it's
Yeah.
verite.
Yeah. He could knock this out in, an hour.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he starts making diagrams as we're
Okay.
puttering along.
Then we'll cut back to the present. I just wanted to get
Yeah.
that. There was something I missed and it was important, so I had to cut back. So back to the
Did I
present.
miss something? What's going on?
Sid has plans for the car.
Oh, okay.
So back to the present. You see this ahead of you. This bustle in the middle of a otherwise, it's like the reverse of a cedar tree. I don't know if you've seen a cedar tree. As they get bigger, they kind of rot from the center out. This is the exact opposite of that. The city sort of rotted from the outside in, and there's nothing left but the core. It is getting towards evening. You see bright lights. They're flickering, but they look for all the world like somebody's built fires inside of curved mirrors, and they're trying to recreate the whole Las Vegas shining lights in the sky thing.
Not this again.
There's
Missed
no
fireworks.
There's no fireworks. Yeah.
So I guess I haven't asked. So where are you all going? What are you doing?
We are heading to Venice eventually. For a variety of reasons. Chief among them, and this is going to sound a little crazy, but we're looking into the origins of the Great Dying and possibly gods. And he just sort of looks to Delilah and like, it's a lot, isn't it? I mean,
Well,
I'm going to be fair. I'm kind of just along for the ride. That's vastly oversimplifying my role here, but Delilah,
well,
why are we
you
heading to
would-
Venice?
well, we essentially are trying to re-establish technology. What technology is not exactly definitive to a lot of people. She holds up the flashlight. This. Have you ever seen one of these aside from the one right here? The world doesn't have these anymore. But what if it did? That's what Verite wanted to do. That's what he was having us gather things for him to do. Verite sent us on a mission, and Verite is a genius. We are We are putting his plan in action. And we are taking the world back from the Great Dying, making it better than what it is, if that makes any sense. It could sound ridiculous, but
May I come with you?
oh,
That
I-
sounds marvelous.
she looks to Sid.
I mean, I was gonna just ask for a ride, but that's amazing. It I mean, I don't know what I can do to help. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
No.
Oh.
I think that's a great idea.
You saved Delilah's life. At the very least, we could take you with us to Venice.
Because I I I I can hear the universe as it cycles, as it breathes, as its lifeblood flows, and the day-to-day world around us is so discordant and is so um like fights against it, tears against it, tries to disrupt it. And I've dreamed about I've dreamed that if only we could just sort of harmonize with that, with the bigger thing, that we could get along, that we could there could be prosperity, that there could be joy and peace, and that there could be. And I mean, you're trying to overcome one of the things that tore humanity apart, and you're talking about making things a better place, and that's in the chorus of the song. And even if I could just be there to witness it, even if there wasn't anything I could do towards it, that would be magnificent.
Can you sing, please?
uh sure. What do you want me to sing?
I don't care. I just feel good when you sing.
Okay. And she'll start sort of humming, kind of tentatively, sort of feeling out the mood, feeling out where it is, and then it swells in to fill in gaps when she feels where those are.
Mm-hmm. And Stefano again is watching you, and you can see him, like you can see his Adam's apple working. He's trying to match the harmonies, but he's not doing it out loud. But it just
So she'll
yeah.
pause a moment and she'll sort of come to it and say, just match this, and she'll just sing a single tone.
And he wanders around for a bit because like you're watching him and he's nervous, and but eventually he hits
Well,
it,
she'll close her eyes as she listens to it,
and he just
and as he gets close, she'll move a little to
yeah, he follows that funnel down and hits that note, and when he does, it lasts that long because he goes, because he felt it, that thing that he doesn't understand, and he's actually backing up on, like, trying to back away from you for a split second. But your song continues, and he kind of comes back in. He doesn't join back in again, but he's watching.
And if he's not there, it'll go back into the harmonies and the layers. I mean, there's always the constant drone tone, but there'll be the layers sort of
And you know that image
flowing
of
and
the,
misting over it.
I don't remember which genie it was, but one of the genies, the animated ones, their head comes up and it kind of goes into smoke. at the top of their head and just kind of fades away. That's the sort of image I see of the car moving through the rubble. This sort of bubble of safety with steam coming off the top of it. And as you get closer to that central core, you see a big sign, and in front of it a little handmade sign. Because the big sign's big, you can read it from further away. It says, "Welcome to Lemville." As you get closer, the smaller sign in front of it's hand painted on plywood, pieces of plywood stuck into the ground. And it says 92.9% madness by volume.
And I'm looking at the map, and wasn't this Ravenna we were coming up to?
It's a town on the way to Ravenna that was not called
Okay.
Lemville. It's
Okay,
there's a place.
so
this
so,
place
so instead of
exists on
Ravenna,
the
I
map,
will put in the
Yeah.
aren't we about here at the something else?
Yes.
Lemville.
I'm
That's not
starting
Italian.
to get. I'm starting to get a familiar feeling, and it's not a good one. No, and for once, it's not my ribs.
Delilah's going to look to Sid and say in English, "I don't think this is Italian."
Sid shakes his head no.
I assume you two are in the front seat and I'm with Artemis.
Yeah, that would make
That
sense.
makes sense
Yeah,
considering
that
how the
works.
conversation's been going. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then the boys are in the back.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kind of turned because I was kind of with
Yeah.
interacting with them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I'm
you'd
kinda
have
turned
to
up
anyway
against the
because
back.
the hammock hangs directly above the back seat, so you gotta be perched at one end. So yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess we ride on in.
As
Once
you
more into the breach.
As you get closer, we're gonna end with Verite going 92.9%. That's 13 out of 14. Huh. And that's where we'll drop the curtain.
The look on your face, Chris, at the end just
Yep. That's because you realized it's a mystery. Oh, thank you. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, about a quarter of the way through the half an idea I had for tonight. So we're going to be here for a while. I love it. Thank you all again for playing this evening. It's always challenging when somebody's not here because it just adds that much more effort that everybody else has to put in. So let's do it in the reverse order from the way we came in. Karis, thank you for this character. I absolutely love the tension and the resolution that's involved that this character brings with them. And I'm getting to Delilah in a second here, but I love that that honest reaction of I don't know how to help, that whole thing. I love it. I'm waiting to see that play out. Really looking forward to that. So thank you for bringing this character and thank you for playing them so true to the bone. I get it. We only see the disability when it's important. Right, when it has an effect. So thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Not everybody can play that part, and I appreciate that you can. I trust you to do it completely. Bison.
You let me. When I came to you with the idea, you let me.
Yeah, Sid. I never seen a more beat up dad in all my life. Sid's like the dad whose twins have kicked him in the junk about 92 times during the attempt to get the family picture done, and he's still just sitting there sweating and grinning and just trying to get through it all. The ghosts, the all of it. brilliant character. I love it. You had a tendency to play sort of funny characters when we started, and I get that too. They're easy, but I appreciate how deep you've gone into Sid. So thank you very much.
You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest. It is super easy to pile trauma on somebody.
Oh, yeah.
After doing it to Sid.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I
Yeah.
can
Uh-huh.
see why some people are drawn to like just trauma magnets like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All of my characters.
Yes, but there's hope. There's
Sid
hope,
and now
there's hope.
Jack for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Well, the
Jack's
thing
a
is,
little bit of a trauma magnet.
the thing is, there's hope though in all of these, and that's what we're going to come around to Delilah with, because burning the books tonight, the burning of Elizabeth Gory should be the name of a jazz album, but never mind. Yeah, but yes, the
Or a prog
moment
metal.
Yeah.
I'm stunned that the translations, they're almost transformations. They're more like caterpillar to butterfly than they are like a person who has developed a new skill, right? You have metamorphosed. That's the word I was looking for, multiple times. You're the reinventing woman, right? How about this? Nope, that's still not me. How about this? Nope, that's still not me. That's still, oh, hey, wait a minute, I'll keep this part. But and then this process of building Felicity out of Delilah, I'm looking forward to the rest of it because it's absolutely brilliant. So
It's a key change in the chorus. You
Oh,
go to
yes,
the next
absolutely.
chorus and
Yep. And I'm going to ask, I was going to do it off stream, but damn it, I'm going to do it on stream. For next week, I'm changing the art because I've got the character art for Delilah. Am I changing the name tag too?
Why not?
Felicity, you want
Go
Delilah
ahead.
/ Felicity, or do you want just Felicity?
go for it.
We could always switch it back. It's letters. I can type whatever I want in there.
Let's do / Felicity for now because
Okay.
she's still trying it out.
So Delilah / Felicity, or Felicity / Delilah? I'm not done.
And she
I
can
have questions.
change her mind up until half an hour before stream time
Absolutely.
next week.
Yep.
Let's do Felicity / Delilah.
F/D. Okay. That's what's going up. Thank you. With that, let's move on to chat. Thank you. Some of you, at least one of you, stayed up until the middle of tomorrow to watch this. So thank you. I know you've gone to bed, but I'm hoping you're going to catch the rest on VOD. So thank you. Everybody else that showed up, thank you as always. Bear print, explodey thing, complicated heart, smiley thing holding a heart right back at you, Kiki. I don't know what it means, but love you too. So thank you for everybody that's watched the VOD. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you watched all the way to here, please hit the buttons. We're going to assume you liked it if you watched it this far. So hit the like button at least. If you want to see more of it, hit the other ones to let us know. That way we'll let you know when they go up. And if you've really, really liked it, hit that sub button. It does help. So that's all them. There's only one thing left. The important thing. More than ever. And I say this every week, and I mean it, because every week the fucking world whirls. So more than ever, please make an effort, if you have it, to be nice to each other. I would personally take it as a favor. Thank you. Good night.